to the Eclectic Entertainment Experience, hosted by James Vassar. That's right. Welcome to the Eclectic Entertainment Experience. That is the Triple E podcast for short. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for this wonderful, crazy adventure that we're going to be on. Well, I'm your host, James Vassar, and I'm excited for you to join me on this week's quest. So, thank you for being here, my adventurers and explorers. We're actually going to go on an adventure and talk about my two favorite topics belief and sports. I know, right? Crazy, crazy stuff. And even more importantly, football. Yeah, I know you're thinking, what? Football again? Nope, nope, not American football, but soccer. Yes, that's right, soccer. Yeah, you're probably thinking another great moment of great another sports episode. I know, get it. But wait, I promise you, before you press the pause, stop, exit out button. Yeah, that's a button. I didn't know if you knew that. It's better than you think. We're actually going to be talking about
New manager one Theodore Ted Lasso.
That's right, Ted Lasso. No, I know. The show about soccer, but not really. But yes, but more importantly, more soccer, but then no more soccer, and then more soccer than football. And then it really actually turns into football because people talk about it like football because it's in, you know, UK. Yeah, so you get it. So anyway, so but I before we get started, I do have to say this first off. Everyone goes, spoiler alert. I'm not going to share really spoilers, but I'm gonna try to minimize that because I don't want it to be. I'm not the type of person to spoil it. I want you to actually go and enjoy the show yourself. But I am going to, share references regarding some of the episodes and characters. So there will be some like, oh, it will be kind of mysterious and enlightening in this when I talk about it, and then when you go watch the show, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's what you'll get more of the context without being like, oh my gosh, dang it, James, you completely spoiled this whole freaking show. I'm so mad that I know everything about Ted Lasso because of you. Yeah, I don't want that. That would be really rough and sad, and my heart would break. But um, yeah, let's not do that, right? So, anyways, let's embark on this journey. So, I gotta start off with explaining Ted Lasso. If you don't know, if you haven't seen any sort of advertisements, any sort of trailers, Ted Lasso is a show. I know, crazy, right? You're like, wait, what? Didn't you said that already? Yes, but what is Ted Lasso? Who is Ted Lasso? And why is Ted Lasso? These are great questions. I appreciate these questions. So first off, the show. Let's talk about the show. The show kind of answers the description of the show answers the who question of who it is. The show takes place in the wonderful land of soccer, as I say, but in UK. Ted Lasso, this wonderful coach, comes over and becomes AFC Richmond's manager and coach, but they don't call him coach in soccer. Things I had to learn. Look, I'm very I learned a lot about soccer in this show, which is like I said, it's about soccer, but not about soccer, but about soccer. So I get it. It's very like, what? Oh, if you don't know anything about soccer, you're just like, okay, really? If you know about soccer, you might even correct me later, like, oh my gosh, James, you didn't even say it right, or you are not understanding. And this is very probably very true. So, anyways, sorry, this side note. So Ted Lasso comes in, becomes the manager, and he has zero experience. He's actually from from wonderful old Kansas. And he's a football coach, a college football coach, and not even a not even a D1 or, like, oh, he's from Alabama. He's the Alabama coach. He's, equivalent to Nick Saban. If you don't know who that is, just really good football coach. But anyways, he's literally a D2. I don't know what he's from Wichita State. I think they're D2. Anyways, but he's not top of the dog, and he just kind of gets his job. And you figure out very quickly why he gets the job and why he's hired. And again, that's a spoiler. I'm not going to explain, but that's what Ted Lasso starts off. That's like your advertisement into season one. You're like, okay, what? What? That's the show. This guy who has no coaching experience in this sport, knows very little, if anything, is now going to coach a professional sport. So he's coaching college football, and now he's going to go coach professional soccer and has zero experience. Very interesting, right? But the kicker is you're like, well, why would I want to watch that show? That is a great question. I don't, I, when I first heard about it, I was like, okay, great. Jason Sudeikis being cool is in a show. I mean, it's probably going to be funny, but is it like just a stupid comedy show? Like, I don't know. However, it is more than that. When I say belief at the beginning, that's actually like one of his code, like one of the things he stands on is belief and believing. And you'll get, when you watch it, you'll understand more. But this show turns into this, drama that's bigger than professional sports and soccer. And it's about life. And there's a lot of life lessons and not just like the old, like, please be kind to your neighbor or, do unto others as you want to be done unto you or, um, gluttony is bad. Like, and again, don't get me wrong, those are cool, but this is like very deep dealing with, hard life challenges, mental illness, relationships, good and bad, unhealthy and healthy. How do you deal with those? How do you deal with, adversity, not only in your job, because, right, these, even though they're professional soccer players, it's their job. That's what they do for a living. How do you deal with adversity in a sport and a job? And all of the things that go into that. You That's kind of what the premise about Ted Lasso is, and that's kind of where Ted Lasso itself is. It gets really good really quickly. So I think that's why I wanted to talk about it. Like, why would you do an episode on this? Why would you talk about a guy who plays soccer? Dude, Ted, I'm like, you don't even have to pay me to be an advertisement for Ted Lasso. I'm a free. So there you go, Ted Lasso. All of the people that are trying to get, advertisements out, I'm free. I mean, I don't reach anybody, a very big audience, but hey, um, sorry, I'm just laughing at myself because I'm funny. All right, so another thing that like really brings this show, like it won a lot of Emmys. If you didn't know that, it's not only just a really good show from an audience member or someone who enjoys it, a believer. It also is proven that it's a good show with the amount of awards it's won, amount of the actors, actresses that have kind of really enhanced their career and made this show fantastic and have now been blessed with awards around that. So the reason that show also is solid is the character development in this show. Right now there's 3 seasons. Most likely that's going to be the end of it. There's like still rumors that it might have come out with another season. I don't know. It's very possible it could come out another season. So but they did make season 3 kind of they did a good conclusion, if you will, and there isn't really a cliffhanger to be like, "Oh, they should make a 4th season." No, it's pretty clear that that could end there. So, so yeah, we'll see. But the character development is amazing. Ted Lasso, the main character, he, you know, he has great development. There's crazy amounts of development, and not just because he learns how to coach soccer, but he learns and moving from the United States to the UK, even though they're all English speaking, there's obviously vast different culture around that, and all of that related. He's learning that, but then he also has to deal with his family and his his challenges around that, and the growth within himself from his mental challenges and mental health that he has to really embark on. And then you have his uh, other coach, his assistant coach, who's been with him for a while, and you find out why later. But Coach Beard, he's fantastic. His development's interesting too, in a different, very different sense. But he's also got some cool development, and he plays a really good role, and always comedic, very serious comedic character, which is really fun. And then you have all these like other, they're like the main characters but supporting characters at the same time. You have the owner, Rebecca, who just mind blows. You go through that, and you go through what she's going through with her divorce, and all of that takes place, and it's really cool to see her, how she handles it and how she grows through that. Um, and then you have a two two soccer players that they really dig into. I mean, they dig into quite a few of the players, but like the two main ones are Roy Kent. Yeah, they sing this. Roy Kent. He's there. He's here. He's there. He's every beeping where. See, I'm that was explicit there. Um, and by the way, this is basically British TV where everyone cusses. So just heads up, explicits everywhere. So Roy Kent, really awesome veteran player on the team. He develops a lot of cool things that happen in his development on his journey as a player. And then you have this other player, Jamie Tart, who his character development is amazing. It's epic because he just completely changes in season after season, and he grows from this character that you're like, "Oh my goodness," to "Oh my goodness, I love him." Really cool character, really awesome to kind of experience. Some really funny lines. He really just kind of really shows how life can be very hard for someone who has extreme amount of talent, even though you would think, "Oh, their life is easy." He's very talented, one of the talented players, the most talented player around in the show, except for, like, one other player, which is brief, but he's definitely the most talented player, and it just kind of you experience his journey, it's very interesting. Um, and then you have Keely Jones, who is very interesting because she she kinda comes in and you're like, "Oh, she's just a supporting character in season 1," but then she takes on a major role and is a major part of Jamie's growth, Roy's growth, her own growth, Rebecca's growth. It's, like, very interesting how this character who you think is kind of a side character, just comes in and then takes over and is a really piece to the puzzle in everyone's life. And then you have like characters that you don't really see development in per se, but they're very key to changes in the main characters, right? So you have, um, oh my gosh, my brain just completely farted. I can't even think of his name. Wow, that's what I get. Anyways, I'll remember it by the end, but he's He has this really cool glasses, and he's the football operations guy. Oh my goodness. Oh, I wanna bang my head against the wall. This is terrible. I'm so frustrated right now. So, anyways, he doesn't really have development in its character, but he's a part of it. And then there's there's another character in there I mentioned, Nate. He's his Nate the Great. He is amazing also. He has a very roller coaster character. You love him, you hate him, you love him. It's just it's crazy. His character development just changes, and it's also interesting because I don't know if it was purposeful, but he also started to gray in the middle of the show, which is really crazy. I don't know if it was, like I said, I don't know purposeful or not, but I really think that completely helps his character and changes that character around that. And like it enhances what the character is trying, like what what the character development occurs. And then you have all these side stories. You have Trent Krim, a reporter who then becomes a book writer, and how he changes from different career, but also how Ted Lasso and this soccer team affects him. And then you have Colin, one of the soccer players, and you see his struggle. You have Sam, who's a Nigerian player his dream is to play on the Nigerian soccer team, and you you go through a lot of his, and he has a lot of main points in this, and his development is interesting. um and it's just like the show the show shows all of these has these quotes that you can take that change your life. The show has a beautiful it also shows what happens if you go the wrong way. Like there's multiple characters where there isn't a happy ending for them. There isn't a everything worked out. And it shows there's these moments where there are mistakes that they make, and they don't learn from them very well. And even some of these characters in there that we talk the main characters, they make big mistakes, huge mistakes, hurtful mistakes, but then they recognize that and try to adjust and change. And again, some of it works out. Some of it's like, "Oh, that's awesome. Things are good. Things get back to you know, things worked out. These relationships are healed, and these are people are gonna progress into a really strong relationship." Sometimes they don't, and it's it's life. It's real. It almost feels like real life. TV in itself has that dramatized of life, right? And we don't. Sometimes TV just gives us, and shows and movies give us this. Either one, they give us all these happy endings, or two, they just terrible, or three, they're just entertainment, right? And I mean, at the end of the day, it's all entertainment. But these episodes, each episode is heart wrenching, gut wrenching change, and some of them are lighthearted change. Some of them are very heavy hearted, and they make you think. They make you process. They also make you wonder if you're doing the right things and making the right choices around your life. And it's just really cool. Really cool. Definitely watch it. One of my favorite episodes, and it's hard to say because there's tons of really good episodes. The season finales are amazing. They're fire. They're really good. Season one is amazing because it's short. The episodes are really short, and they're just full of life. You can burn through season one very quickly. One of the best scenes I think in episodes involves darts. So watch it. Ted Lasso is a monster, and he's just a good. I mean that in a good sense, not like he's a scary man. Um, yeah. S So, watch it, worth it. If I haven't sold you yet, you need to come talk to me, and let me sell it to you and pitch it to you, because these characters will change your life. I'm serious, like, go watch the 1st season. You can binge it fairly quickly, and your life will be changed just by watching the 1st episode. I promise you that. And and then you'll be like, "I'm hooked." And then you watch 2 and 3, and you'll just be like, "My life is changed forever. My life is changed forever." You may not sing that song. You may sing a different song, but you might start singing, or if you're not a singer, you might start dancing. If you're not a dancer, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get it. You're gonna enjoy it. So stop now. Now this episode is done. Go and watch. Now, obviously, if you're like driving while you're listening to this, or you're on your laptop and you're working, or or you should be working, or you're doing chores, whatever. I like to listen to podcasts. But yeah, I get it. Maybe you need to like finish what you're doing and then go watch it. But do it as soon as you can. I I know it's not like going away, but you know, change your life. Just change your life. All right, guys, I'm done. I think we'll see. I just my heart's full. Ted Lasso, thank you. Thank you for changing my life. I hope it changed your guys' life. If you have already watched it, you're like, "Yeah, I know what you're talking about." If you haven't watched it, go change your life. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm trying to help you. So, that is today's episode of the Eclectic Entertainment Experience. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Check check me out. Check the other episodes out if you haven't already. Um, but yeah, Ted Lasso for the win. Thank you for listening to today's adventure on the Eclectic Entertainment Experience. Please like, subscribe, and share with your fellow explorers. And until next time, keep being eclectic.